Friends, welcome to episode 24 of Activist Collective. We are going to talk a lot today about the consequences of our actions. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a lot about Texas. And before I continue, let's get the date out of the way. It is July 7th. I haven't been able to do a podcast in a couple of weeks because of summer break, man. Summer break. It's been busy. But here's what I want to talk about, okay? There are a lot of people from Texas who are rightfully feeling some type of way, man. They're hurting. A lot of people lost their lives. Somehow, some way, somebody is going to know somebody who lost their life that day because of those floods. And the hardest part about this is that children lost their lives. But I want to be very clear here, friends. This was a preventable thing. This was preventable. They were given a 12-hour prior evacuation warning. Okay? And in all of my videos where the maggots have come in telling me, keep my mouth shut if you're not from Texas, a lot of people are saying, well, we get these flood warnings all the time. And, well, we just don't follow them. We just don't do it because it's no big deal most of the time. Well, there's always that one time where it's going to be a big deal. There's always going to be that one exception when you didn't want to follow the evacuation warning and you should have. So we err on the side of caution, especially when children's lives are on the line, and we evacuate. And the leaders of that camp did not do their due diligence. The people who voted for this administration and the administration in Texas are negligent because the scientists were clear. If you defund the National Weather Service and NOAA, you fire all of the scientists or offer them early retirement packages, we're not going to be able to accurately predict the weather. And by accurate, we mean how much rain is going to fall. How strong is this hurricane going to be? Is it going to turn? Is it going to hit land? Is it going to be a category 2, 3, 4, 5? What? We don't know anymore. We don't know anymore. And the meteorologists and the scientists have been warning the American people, if you defund these programs, we are taking huge steps back. They have made so many gains in the accurate prediction of weather. So many remarkable gains that protect the people. So that people in Florida know to evacuate, or do they have to even leave? And people's lives have been saved because of these profound advances in meteorological science. And now we're taking huge steps back because they cannot do the job properly without the funding. Everything costs money. Canada predicted the amount of rainfall that was going to fall on Texas that day. Do you know why they were able to accurately predict it and we were not? Because they had the funding to do so, because the leadership, the elected officials in Canada know how important it is to fund the programs that keep Canadians safe. And so they fund those vital programs. But not here, friends. We have told you for fucking decades. I mean, I'm so tired of saying it. The Republican Party does not care about you. The Republican Party wants to stay rich. The elected officials in the Republican Party want to vote for corporations because it is the corporations who fatten their bank accounts. How the fuck does Lauren Boebert come into Congress a penniless whore? A penniless whore. And now she's a millionaire on a $174,000 salary. How does that happen? I'm getting off track here. The people who are from Texas are super pissed about the people talking about the event in Texas. They don't want us talking about the event in Texas because they claim if you're not from here, you should keep your mouth shut about it. I got a few words to say about that. And I know that I speak on behalf of everybody who follows me and likes my content and the things we do here. Fuck you. No, for real, fuck you. Because you motherfuckers, your privileged ass Christian whiteness has afforded you the privilege to take rights away from people, the LGBTQ community, pass laws that take rights away from people. You've interjected your opinions into the lives of every single American you disagree with, and not a single border, a skin color, or a religion has ever stopped you. So fuck all the way off. You don't like it being thrown back in your face. This is the same feeling when Jen Hamilton read the Bible to these red hat cults. They lost their shit. I can tell you, I can use my Bible as a weapon against you, but don't you dare do it to me. My privilege affords me that right. And they may not come right out and say it, but that is the feeling, that indignation that they feel. Hold. They may not be able to put it into words without flat out owning it. But that is that feeling that they get of how dare they? Honey, that's your privilege. That is your indignation, thinking you can say whatever you want, but nobody else can speak about you because you are a white, straight Christian in America. And I just got news for you. We're done catering to your childish demands, your infancy about how the world really works outside of your fucking cul-de-sac in the suburbs. People are dying out here, and more are going to die because of your privilege. So you'll excuse us if we tell you to go fuck yourselves. We're going to keep talking about Texas because this is the biggest wake-up call that the world could have gotten. Scientists warned exactly at this happening. And you mean to tell me that the leaders in Texas are going to point the finger at the National Weather Service and be like, "Oh, you heard it right. You heard they said 6 inches, right? You heard it right. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. It's their fault." You defund the program who predicts weather and then blame them for not being able to predict the weather. Eat my whole ass. Fuck off. You people are something else. Something fucking else. You know, you tell women what they can and cannot do with their bodies. Does an abortion affect you? No. But it's against my religion. So fucking don't get an abortion. But no, you had to take it away from other women. That's another example of you butting your nose into business that doesn't affect you. Right now, you guys are going to be going after equal marriage rights. That's on the chopping block. You want to tell people they can't call themselves whatever they want as it relates to trans people, because I don't like calling them that. Oh, it makes me feel oogie. You guys are fucking insane. You are fucking mental. The group of people who we're going to live the way we want to live, and don't tell me I'm a free American man to live how I want to live. But the minute we want to live how we want to live, there's a fucking problem. This is the community that's in your comment sections going, "Don't talk about Texas if you're not from Texas." Eat my ass. That's what I say. Eat my ass. We're going to talk about Texas. The whole world is talking about Texas because the scientists warned that this would happen. It's happening, and you still can't fucking swallow it down and eat your pride and say, "Yep, we were wrong. It happened." And I feel for my blue dots in the states like Florida or what, I don't even know, Texas, Louisiana, where these hurricanes are coming. And the weather service cannot predict the magnitude. If it's going to turn, the trajectory, they can't predict any of it. And I feel for you guys. I don't feel for the red hat cult. I feel for you guys and the innocent children who are victims of their parents' shitty fucking beliefs. Because they would rather vote for a man who wants to give all of our tax dollars to the billionaires in forms of tax breaks and subsidies, and then use those tax breaks and subsidies or pull all of those funds from vital programs for the poor, for children, for the weak. I mean, for the weak and the marginalized. That's the easiest target. And let me tell you who's weak, friends. Children. Let's jump right on over to this fucking ugly bill, okay? Excuse me, I'm trying to do this without as many cuts. Let's jump over to the big ugly bill. Now, Republicans are coming out. Some of them are being honest. Lisa Murkowski, again, another person who can eat my ass. Speaking of Lisa Murkowski, that bitch knew that this bill was terrible for all of America. She knew it was terrible. But what did she do? She held her ground and she said, do for my state and I will vote for it. Fuck everyone else. Literally, without saying it, she said it. Fuck the rest of the country and the dying and the sick and the poor and the kids and the veterans. Fuck all of them if they don't live in Alaska. You know what I'm saying? And she voted for it. And then that moment, after she voted for it, the deciding vote, she went and talked to the media and said, I hope the House recognizes that this bill isn't there yet and that they vote against it. That bitch voted to save her ass. Not caring about the rest of America, and then turn around and ask the House to do the right thing. Well, we couldn't do the right thing here in the Senate. Maybe they can do it down there. I don't know. I mean, we are literally living in a fucking freak show. It's a circus. I wake up every day in a living nightmare. A living nightmare that this administration clearly doesn't like you. In fact, he said it. Let me see if I can find that fucking video. And I'll try to put it in here. He said he doesn't like you. He doesn't like Democrats. He, in fact, hates them. He hates them. You voted for a man who hates you. This bill is going to destroy the lives of people. It's going to take funding from families in terms of SNAP benefits. It's going to force work requirements on people who cannot work, be it a physical or mental disability. If it's mental disability, oh my God, they're going to force you to work. Even if you're the type of person who shouldn't be around people, they're going to force you to work. Excuse me. I want to go find that clip for you. Stand by.
I hate them. I cannot stand them. With all of the things we did with the tax cuts and rebuilding our military, not one Democrat voted for us. And I think we use it in the campaign that's coming up, the midterms, because we got to beat them. But all of the things that we've given, and they wouldn't vote only because they hate Trump. But I hate them too, you know that? So it's sort of me. I really do. I hate them. I cannot stand them because I really believe they hate our country. You want to know the truth?
That dipshit thinks that because they voted no on the ugly bill, that it's because they hate him. I mean, the literal infancy. The literal infancy. Honey, we have been doing this in Congress for 250 years. We like a bill, we vote for it. We don't like a bill, we don't vote for it. This bill is catastrophic. And I'm not telling you that because a Democratic politician told me that. I'm telling you that because I read it. I read most of it. And I know for a fact that this bill cuts $1.7 trillion from the Medicaid budget. This affects the Affordable Care Act. This affects Medicaid. This affects veterans and children. This affects your SNAP benefits, who, by the way, the poor white people in the South seem to be very fond of. They love their SNAP benefits. They love their Medicaid, in fact. So when it hits, all we can say is we told you so. We tried to warn you, but you believed this monster who divided the nation, lied and played in your faces, and made you the butt of literally the world's jokes. And that's really the summary. That's really the summary of things happening. You are the butt of this man's joke, and you are the butt of the world's joke. Because you were so easily duped and you fell for everything he fucking told you. So easily. So here's the thing. Some of the provisions of this ugly bill will go into effect immediately. It depends on state. It depends on compliance, and it has a lot to do with the RFK Jr. and him getting his shit together, because he's got to get stuff together. And while this is happening, the Republican Party is playing Monday morning quarterback now, and they want to pretend like they had nothing to do with this. I had to, guys. I had to. The Republican representative from Omaha, Nebraska, he voted for it, but knows it was a shitty bill and will not be running for re-election because he knows he's going to lose. He knows he's going to lose. That goes for Don Bacon, same thing. Tom Tillis, same thing. Maybe Don Bacon is the guy from Omaha. I don't know. I forget. But Republicans are refusing to run again after this because they know, as I have stated 100,000 times before, this bill is career ending. When you take healthcare, which is a human fucking right, by the way, away from the most vulnerable population, who also votes, you, my dear, have ended your career. And I'm not sad about it. So the only light at the end of the tunnel, friends, is I want you to remember anything that says it's permanent can be fixed. It can be fixed. Nothing's permanent. That's just a word that is used in politics. We can pull these things back. If we get the right government in place, we can undo the horribleness of this administration, but we need to work together as a team. Do you hear me? We have to work as a team. We cannot be like, well, I'm more left than you. I'm more empathetic than you. How dare you not love these people as much as I love these people? And if you don't, you're not a real liberal. I mean, we all have beliefs on a spectrum, and we have to believe that that's enough right now, okay? There are some people on the left who I believe are not far enough left, but they may have to do for the time being. And that goes for my friends and my followers. We don't all have to have the same exact views on everything. As long as you stand for human rights and you stand against fascism, right now, that's what I need from you. Okay? And I need you to not fall into these infighting traps. I need you to, if someone's going to run their mouth, like, look, here's a good example. I am helping with the organizations who are investigating what I believe to be and you believe to be a fraudulent election. The numbers don't lie, and there are people out there who think we're crazy for looking into it. And they're trying to start fights about it. And I'm not even going to walk down that path with them. If they want to stitch me, if they want to comment, I don't care. I am not going to talk about it with you. If you don't like that we're doing it, that's okay. You don't have to like it. We're going to do it anyway. Okay? Smart Elections has already raised over $60,000, and they need to reach $100,000 by the end of September. That's their goal. This pays for lawyers. This pays for depositions. This pays for court filings. This pays for discovery, all of those things. So Smart Elections is dealing with the Rockland County case. Okay. And the Election Truth Alliance is collecting the voter data and urging Americans to call their governors in swing states and demand a hand count. I would love it if somebody in each swing state took the lead, formed a coalition of people, and in mass approached their governor and secretary of state and said, we want an audit right now. We want you to do a hand count right now. And before this administration gets their grubby fucking mitts on those ballots. For real, they're trying to get ahead of these people and get their hands on these ballots. And we need to stop them and get that hand count done right now. If there's nothing to worry about, then there's nothing to worry about. And if we find out there was no cheating and these are just crazy off the charts anomalies that have never happened before in American history, then it's shit that's never happened before. But why does it hurt to check? Are you afraid? Are you afraid of the possible uprising of people if they find out? I say don't be afraid. I say let it flow. Let it flow. Anyway, so go to elections.us. smartlegislation.us to donate to Smart Elections. Smart Elections is an arm of Smart Legislation. So to donate to Smart Elections, you go to smartlegislation.us. I believe you can also do Smart Elections, but don't quote me on that. And then go to electiontruthalliance.com. Is it .com or .org? Anyway, let me get that for you. Go to Election Truth Alliance. I think it's .org. Election Truth Alliance. Yep, electiontruthalliance.org. Sorry, bear with me. And donate there because these guys are doing this out of their own pockets. Everything that costs money, they're paying for unless they get donations. So donate to them, donate to Smart Elections, and we can help by doing that. We can also help by calling or forming a group of people, a lot of people. You got to get a lot of people. It's going to have to be like the squeaky wheel needs some grease. And you got to be a squeaky wheel every day, hammer, 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 hammer. Both the governor and the secretary of state. And they need to get together and they need to say, fine. We will do it. And then what you're going to see is this administration is going to try to stop a hand count. You're going to see that happen. Why would they stop it? Right? Anyway, so let's move on. We are still going to push forward with Smart Elections, Rockland County case. You can go to their website for updates. They do press releases when there's updates. Smartelections.us if you want to see Dr. Walter Mebane's, sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want to see his, basically it's his statement about what the data shows. It's basically that there is a 0% probability rate that there wasn't cheating. 0. It means there was. On a grand scale in Pennsylvania to the tune of 270,000 votes, possibly on the larger end, 100,000 on the smaller end. That's fucking crazy to me. And numbers don't lie, friends. Numbers don't lie. This isn't a conspiracy theory. We have a court case and we have data. Two things that MAGA never had. Never had. But I digress. Let's move along. Okay, now there is an influencer. It goes by the name of Mr. Times. His full username is Mr. Timothy Times. And he is part of or founder of the American Freedom Group. And they are using satellite imagery to collect heat signatures from alligator Alcatraz as it relates to their incinerators. And they are watching them take waste off site to a landfill in Volusia County. I want you guys to make sure that right now you go over to TikTok, you find Mr. Timothy Times. It's MR, not spelled out Mr. It's MR Timothy Times. And I want you to follow him, accept no substitutes. He has 92,000 followers, and he is providing data that they are going to be presenting as evidence. And I believe that this is extremely important, that they know they're being watched, that they're not going to be able to pull off a literal Auschwitz, that they're not going to be able to pull off a Nazi Germany in this country without us knowing.
Hey guys, so this is an update on the Alligator Alcatraz investigation that we were doing. A lot of you guys had tagged about a concern of incinerators being installed, so that warranted a deeper look again. And as I did the post, we have a ton of satellites now looking at them and periodically going through. So what I want to do is I want to give you some of what they found and an update into the investigation. With that being said, I'm not a news reporter. I don't have anyone telling me what I need to tell you and polishing it or anything like that. This is just 1 + 1 = 2. These are just facts that will be submitted as evidence. And with that said, we'll go ahead and do the report. Fears detects combustion signature. Isolated. Satellite visual confirms Modus nighttime band shows persistent radiative signature in the southeast quadrant. Sentinel-2 optical shows discoloration consistent with heat plume staining on the soil and the roof. It's rising. In June 21st capture. Aviation. Multiple small ice contracted air transports were logged. Most recent was June 20th, 2025 at 9:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Arrival from Pearsall, Texas. Not logged under public FAA manifest, flagged under Shell contractor ID. Maritime AIS, no direct maritime transfers tied to the facility. Shoreline waste cargo movements identified 6 kilometers east, with waste cargo loaded June 22nd at 1:47 a.m. Destination, unlisted landfill in Volusia County. So I want you to understand, they cargo their waste to Volusia County. Their waste is taken off site.
Without us fighting back and without us trying to stop them. We will not be silent about it. And we must remain dedicated to the fight of human rights. Okay, this is for all. This is for all. Right now, MAGA doesn't need anyone fighting for them. They've got the president on their side, but they are included in this. I hate to say it. Human rights for all means human rights for all. If a stupid MAGA supporter decides he doesn't want to support MAGA anymore, and the entire MAGA community turns on them or whatever, and bad things start happening, we have to stand up for that person. And I know that there are people out there who are going to be like, fuck that. Look what they've done to this country. But we cannot say that we stand for human rights if we're not out to protect all of humanity, right? But I don't want to get too much into that topic. I want to make sure that you are following Mr. Timothy Times. His content is so important. I mean, so important. It's important that they know we're watching. Okay? All right. Okay, now before I take off, I just want to recap a few things, and then I want to end on something for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so let's recap. The world is talking about Texas, and they're talking about Texas because the scientists warned around the world that by defunding the weather service that these sorts of things would happen. And here we are watching those things play out. Okay, so the people in Texas can't say, you don't know what happens here, so you can't talk about it. No, I don't know what it's like to be in a flood. I don't know what it's like to have massive raging waters rise up and sweep away my whole family. I don't. No question. What I do know, and what the rest of the world knows, is that the butt of the joke, MAGA, refuses to listen to science. And when science predicts this exact thing will happen, and more will happen, hurricanes, tornadoes, blizzards, you name it, more will happen. We're watching the prediction of catastrophic events play out the way they said it would. And that's what we're discussing. We're also discussing the obvious neglect and negligence of the people in charge not following evacuation orders that they got 12 hours before, okay? And I encourage you all to talk about it. I encourage you to tell your followers or your haters to call their senators, find a way to fund the Weather Service, find a way to fund NOAA, find it. If you can find money to give to billionaires, you can find a way to fund the Weather Service. Hey, billionaires, why don't you fund the Weather Service? If you don't want to see your fancy mansions and your yachts flipped upside down or totaled, why don't you help? If we're going to give you all our tax dollars because we don't have a choice, maybe we could use some of it to fund the fucking Weather Service. But I digress. Keep talking about it regardless of what these assholes say. It needs to be talked about. The lives of young girls were lost because of the negligence of MAGA voters and this administration, and it will happen again and again and again in other places, with other people, with other weather events. It's going to happen, okay? The next thing I want to talk about and recap is please contact if you live in a swing state, Michigan, New Mexico, Georgia, why am I blanking? You know your swing state. If you live in a swing state, call your governor, call your secretary of state en masse. And if you want to take the reins on something like this, create a group of people who will call daily, 30 people a day, 30 people a day, 30 people a day, or 60 or 100 until they put oil on that squeaky wheel. This is how it must be done. And the last thing I want to leave you with is this. During the campaigns, a lot of people clung on to psychic mediums. And I am not. When I tell you I don't believe in psychics, I was watching for entertainment purposes because there was one in particular that was predicting global events, global leaders being unalived, shifts in regime changes, all this sorts of stuff. And she was hitting it on the nose, and I was thoroughly entertained. Now, I don't know if it was luck or what, but I have been following her just because I like to go back and see if she's, right. So I leave this with you for entertainment purposes only. So for people that jump on my back and go, now she's talking about psychics, I just want you to find it as entertaining as I did. That's all. Everybody enjoy the video. Enjoy your week. The best that you can. Continue fighting against fascism in this administration. Stand up for the marginalized. Find your community. And again, call those governors and secretaries of state and create a group of people who will continue to do it day in and day out until they put oil on that squeaky wheel. All right, here, I'm going to leave you with the real medium, Matilda.
Over the coming, I'm going to say months, end of August is really standing out to me. Could be sooner, could be a little bit later. But there are going to be some telephone calls leaked in connection with a competition that happened last year. Videos, telephone calls, specific words used that is going to prove that somebody manipulated something and asked others to manipulate things for them. I look forward to that.